Ah, yes, the Championship is back, and it all kicks off this Friday at Deepdale as Preston finally back in action against Sheffield United. Can't wait. Welcome to Terry's Talk, and welcome to Where the Lilyites Walk. Welcome to Where the North End Walk, where the Lilyites Walk, and we've got two massive Preston fans to join us to talk about all things North End. First, Etienne, who, if you don't know, is a huge sports journalist in all things Preston and football. Welcome, Etienne. How are you?
I'm all good. Good to be on the show. Thank you very much.
And there isn't anybody who doesn't know anything more about Preston and makes sure social media knows all about it than Ash. Thanks for joining us this year on the channel. How are you, Ash?
Yeah, great. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, I am certainly the guy that just talks rubbish about Preston on Twitter. So
that's all right. We've also got our Sheffield United fan standing by to get on in a second. But first of all, let's talk all things Preston. Good to have football back, though, isn't it? Even though, you know, it's going to be a tricky game on Friday night, I'm sure. It's good to have proper football back. Yeah, we've missed it, Etienne.
Yeah, I mean, I've missed it quite a lot. The end portion of the season was miserable, so it was good to have a short break. But it's coming back. Even with Sheffield United coming up, I've got optimism for the season ahead. Unlike a lot of our fans, I do think we can really crack on this season.
Good. We'll address Ryan Lowe haters and stuff in a second, but let's start with positivity. Preston have always been a well-run club. They never outspend what they do. They never seem to be in financial difficulties. That comes, Ash, at a cost, though. It get fans' frustrations. Where do you put fans' frustrations or sympathies or positivity around this summer? How it's gone so far? What's the mood like around North End?
I think it's been quite negative for a while. I mean, there's been some good signings. There has been highlights. We've got a couple of good players in last season, and we'll see what the two lads we brought in this year are like. So I think there are things to be positive about. I think it all comes down to the first few games, and you know the style of play is quite a big talking point. So fingers crossed we find a way to make that work. You know, and I'm hopeful that we do.
Okay. I've got to ask you if you were Ryan Lowe in or out before we go any further. Etienne, what camp are you in?
I'm Ryan Lowe in. I'm going to give him until about November, December. Just the style of play, it's coming along slowly. We need the right players in this transfer window. If he doesn't get them in, then that's kind of his fault. He's had 3 or 4 seasons to do that now, and then I'll be Ryan Lowe out. But I want to give him a bit of time. He does deserve it. We finished 10th last season, which is our highest finish since we finished 7th under Neil. So, yeah, I'll give him some time.
Yeah, we all know the start that Preston made to last season. You were top coming the end of September and looking like you've been promoted. Ash, what camp are you in?
Yeah, I think it's obvious at this point. I'm pretty much Low out. I do want to give him a chance, though. I think he deserves a chance. You know, we're starting the season with him, so we've got to try and be positive. So, fingers crossed he makes a few changes and it works for him. I think the potential is there.
Okay. If you're a Preston fan, please put in the comments below what your response to that is. We want to know whether, you know, the majority of fans are Low in or Low out. I mean, Twitter's a negative place at the moment. I only see Low out hashtags. I don't see too much support for him, which, you know, is a shame because there is a decent manager there, I think, underneath some of the decisions he's made, but tactically last year, some of the decisions and some of the substitutions that were made were inexcusable. But more on that as we get through it. I'm going to have to ask you about Brown. I'm sorry, because one of the signings which Sunderland fans are very, very happy about is, of course, the capture of your captain. 414 games for Preston. If you were to rank I think all-time, you know, players in terms of appearances, he's 11th on that list. So, what went wrong in those discussions, Ash? Is it all come down to money, or is there more to it?
I don't think it would be. I heard he'd taken a pay cut to go to Sunderland. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I think probably just needed a change of scenery, whether that was manager related, whether that was he felt like he'd taken as far as he could. It's just sad to see him go.
Yeah, Etienne, what are your thoughts on it?
It's a big loss. I mean, leadership, first of all, we've had to appoint a new captain in Ben Whiteman. The legacy is left. He was the only remaining member of the team that got us promoted. He stayed for the entire time, and he's been one of our best players under Grace, under Neil, under Lowe, under McAvoy even. You know, so consistent. And it's such a big loss and such a big game for Sunderland, because not only is he so direct and attacking at times, he can play right back if he needs to. And I thought he did a cracking job last season when he was required, when we had Brad Potts out. And it's going to be a huge miss. I do think we've kind of replaced him in the midfield, so it might not hit as hard this year, but at the same time, you don't want to see someone like that go, especially to a championship rival.
Yeah, understandable. We will get into signings and in a lot more detail in the coming weeks, but just tell us about Thordarson. Have I pronounced that? That's that right? What do we know about him, and how has he done in pre-season?
He's a box-to-box midfielder. He loves a long shot. I mean, on the first day he signed, we got a little promo of him taking a shot from about 30 yards and it going top bins. I was like, oh my God, we've signed an absolute worldie here. I know QPR wanted him, Derby wanted him, and then we ended up just being in the talks out of nowhere. A couple of days later, he'd signed. And in pre-season, he's looked like he's up for it. He's very energetic. He loves going from box to box, which is something we miss quite a lot of the time, getting the ball through the centre of the midfield. And I think it's such a different signing, and it means we could play Mads Frotkiar a bit further up. It means we can get the ball to him, we can get the ball to Holmes. Just might allow us to be a bit more direct through the centre of the pitch, and that's something that we haven't had under Lowe at all.
Okay. We'll bring in our Sheffield United fan in a second, but Ash, how do you rate your pre-season not in terms of results? I mean, you lost 3-0 to Everton. I watched that game myself as an Everton fan, so the results don't count for much. But what about the performances? Are you encouraged from what you've seen?
So mixed views. I mean, I went to the Fiorentina game and I thought we played quite well. A lot of people saying we were just hanging in and we were lucky to win, but I thought we deserved the win there. Same at Salford. I wasn't massively impressed with the performance at Salford. I thought we could have done a lot better, especially against League Two opposition. And we did beat Liverpool. I guess you've got to take the positives from that. And I tell you one thing that's really impressed me is Robbie Brady, the turnaround there. And he seems to have carried on the back end of the season's form into pre-season this year. And he's probably been the best player on the pitch when I've been to games, which I couldn't have ever expected that. So that's the biggest positive. I do think we need to invest in some wing backs to try and help the style of play, though, which is the only thing missing really so far.
Okay. When the fixture list came out, you kind of been jumping for joy that a relegated side, especially with the quality that Sheffield United have, will be visiting Deepdale first. Let's find out what sort of shape the blades are in. Are they sharp or are they blunt? Here's Faux Focus. Welcome, Nat. Thank you for joining us on Where North End Walk. Looking forward to your trip to Deepdale?
Not ideally been on a Friday night. Would have liked it to be on a Saturday, to be honest. Although I don't think I'd have been in Preston before the game. But no, you always get a good allocation. So hopefully plenty of blades in away, and so that's always something to look forward to.
There's worse places to be than Preston on a Friday night, but not too many. First off, where do you put Sheffield United at in terms of your preparations for the season? You just heard the lads here talking about their pre-season. How good or bad or indifferent has the Blades' pre-season been?
It's been good, but we're definitely not the finished article. What I'd say to these is you're definitely playing us at the right time. I mean, you've got to play everyone twice, but it's a really good time to play United. We've only made 5 signings. We've got a few more lined up, Sounds like we're going to sign Alfie Gilchrist on loan in the next couple of days. So that'd be a really good signing. I think he was actually linked with Preston. I think he had the choice between Preston and Sheffield United. So that's an early 1-0. But yeah, we still got a lot of work to do. So definitely playing is a good time, especially with a new shape. Yeah, I should say as well, we've got the new shape. So still working on that. I mean, we played a 5 for so long, and now we're moving to a 4. It's a big transition. Whether that'll click straight away, we'll see. I think we'll come good, but I think we'll be slow starters.
Okay. Etienne, your record against Sheffield United at Deepdale hasn't been good at all, to say the least. Is this a fixture that you could have done without on the opening day? Would you prefer to have a nice, easier start than this, or just get it out of the way and done with?
When I saw that we were playing Sheffield United first, I was like, I kind of agree with Nat here. It's the best time to play them. They've just come down from, what was a horrible Premier League season, and they're kind of in that transition phase where they're changing their tactics, they're bringing new players in, and I was like, I think we can take the game to these. That opinion has definitely changed a bit more. You've signed Harrison Burrows, who we were also after. You've signed some other quality players. But it's kind of the best time to get out of the way. We're quite good at home now. The home form kind of flipped a bit last season. We won more than we lost. And it's just a good time to play them, especially on like a weekend night. I also think that kind of might shift the momentum a bit in our favour. Sheffield United are trying to restructure, they're trying to rebuild, and we're just trying to continue the style that we're building on. And I think I'm expecting a draw.
Ash, where do you put Sheffield United in terms of finishing this season? Do you have them as winners or playoffs or lower?
Yeah, I don't think winners. I think there's some strong teams. I would be surprised if they weren't top 6 come the end of the season. But also what I will say is we generally tend to perform quite well against the higher teams in the league. So I'm feeling quite positive about Friday. But yeah, I think top 6 is a minimum for United this season.
Okay. Nat, you'll be there. How many are you bringing on Friday? Do you know how many tickets have been sold?
No, I don't. But we haven't been given the increased allocation, which is pretty poor. No, I mean we haven't sold it in time. Is what I mean. I mean, we could have had the entire end. So I'm guessing like 3,500 should be better. But I guess there's still a lot of people who need to be won over. After last season, bit of apathy. So hopefully we can win people back on side quickly and get those numbers up as the season goes on. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help being on a Friday night, though, and on Saturday.
Well, it's good for the neutral, because I'm going to have Preston Blades on one TV and Blackburn Derby on another, and just sit back with a beer and enjoy both. So, yeah, no 0-0s, please, in this one. Let's get some predictions then. Nat, you can go first. You know how good you've been. You've listened to how good Preston are. What do you reckon?
1-1.
Okay, I'll take that. Etienne?
Yeah, I'd say the same. 1-1. Maybe Blades score last minute. Just a draw.
Yeah, hopefully.
And Ash, go on, give me a goal thriller. It's a Friday night.
I can't promise loads of goals with Sinlow's style, but I'll go 2 on Preston later.
There we go. All right, bit of positivity. All right, thank you, Nat, for joining us. Enjoy your trip to Deepdale. We'll catch you back in March on this channel for the return leg at Bramall Lane. Thank you very much. And okay, for you two, let's have a look at some shirts. So we have, just announced, I think, the last couple of hours, I think, of the third shirt, which you can hopefully see there. Just want to get your views on this one. Rate My Take each week is going to put some views on the screen for you to talk about. James says, it's all right. All 3 are stepped down from last season, though. Ash, do you agree with that?
100% last season's, especially the yellow one last year. Because I think it's the best shirt we've had in years, but that home one's an abomination.
And why'd you say that?
There's too much going on. I think the sleeves, being the way they are, the sleeve cuffs, and then no collar, and then we look like we've won Little Miss mid-table there with the sash going across. So yeah, I'm not huge on the home one. As you can see, I I bought the away one. I wasn't keen on that. I saw it in person and it was great. So I've ended up getting that one, but quite like the third.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these logos in the middle, but I've got to admit that does look as if it's been designed pretty well, that away shirt. Etienne, what are your thoughts on the three of them?
Yeah, I stepped down from last year. I loved the third shirt. I loved the home shirt last year. I'm not as critical with the home shirt. I think we could have done without the sash. A collar would have made it maybe a very good kit. The away shirt in person is a lot better than it was in the marketing. I don't know what they were thinking selling that in the pictures, but in person it's a lot better. And I want to instantly buy the third shirt tomorrow. That's how good it is. I'd give that a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a nice colour combo, isn't it? Okay. All right. Before we go, then, let's get your quick fire predictions for Preston and other things in the Championship this season. 1 or 2 word answers only, please. No monologues with this one. Etienne, you can go first, please. Where will Preston finish this season?
About 17th, maybe a couple higher.
Ash?
I'm going to say 14th to 16th. I'll say 14th.
Okay. Who's going to win the Championship? Etienne?
I've got Burnley winning it by quite a distance now.
Okay. Ash?
Yeah, Burnley will walk it.
I think Leeds fans might have something to say about that. Who's going down, Etienne?
Plymouth, Blackburn, Oxford.
Okay. Ash?
I've also got Plymouth and Blackburn. Hopefully Blackburn. And then Derby.
Oh, you wouldn't want to miss another local derby. You've already got rid of Blackpool. Can't get rid of Blackburn.
They don't count.
Fair dues. Okay. And if I can give you any 6-0 win at any stadium at any point in this season, it can't be against Blackburn. Where would you like it to happen?
Are we allowed to say Burnley? Because even though I think they might walk it, Burnley away 6-0. That would just be
fair enough.
Mine would be Coventry, either home or away, just to shut their fans up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to talk about Coventry, actually, because you've mentioned them. They are, obviously, when I've asked them the same question, nearly all of them said Preston away, because they never win it. They never win at Deepdale. I think it was 1900 or something the last time that they did it, something ridiculous. So, yeah, watch out. Coventry are coming with an axe to grind. Listen, thanks so much for tonight. If you're a Preston fan, obviously, thank you for watching. Please comment below, as we've asked you to do. These two and other guests will be hopefully with us for the full journey of whatever this crazy competitive season brings. Myself, I can see this being a season of struggles to start with. I suspect Ryan Lowe will get sacked around November time, and then you'll probably have some amazing manager dragged from either foreign shores or out of work. David Moyes maybe might fancy it just for half a season to come back where it all began, and will rescue Preston. You'll finish comfortably 13th. That's my forecast for Preston. Not that we want any managers sacked, but I just when a fan base is so divided, regardless of what happens on the pitch, it rarely turns out well for the manager. But maybe we'll be proved wrong. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game on Friday night. Make it a classic for us neutrals, and we'll talk to you next week. Cheers, fellas.
Thank you very much.